to go. We're going to talk about AI. Why? We're going to talk about AI partly because we're doing the AI ROI 90 days guaranteed. Can you imagine that? That is so crazy, right? That's so crazy. Why? Well, partly because we've got so many of these projects. 85% of artificial intelligence fail. Why does Gartner predict 85% of AI projects fail? Why 85% of our artificial intelligence projects fail? Why 85% of projects fail? Right. Well, first we're going to get around the barbecue and listen to some data scientists. Okay, so here we go.
Is that the leading shelf-stable condiment brand you were talking about earlier?
Yes. The brand loyalty in their product is phenomenal. I mean, 2% of their buyers drive 80% of their sales.
That's a lot of mustard.
And using buyer science, we can identify those buyers are twice as likely to buy this brand of charcoal briquettes.
I think these are real
Seriously?
data
Twice as
scientists
likely?
because they're not
They
actors.
can steal some major share from their competitors with that insight.
Is that brand defection I smell?
This is from Catalina, and they're the cross-sell on your receipt.
Get the nerd on your side. Catalina provides data insights on 436 million buyer IDs.
Okay, that's enough of that. I just thought it was funny that they would try something humorous on data analysis. And Catalina, it goes way back, and they have. And excuse me for trimming that guy off. It was not intentional. I do my best to get these things centered, and it's not easy, especially goofy videos on LinkedIn. Anyway, so let's talk about, Catalina makes tons of sense if you're in the grocery space because, if you find somebody buying Pepsi, you can give them a coupon to try Coke, and it comes out right then when they're buying it. So I've always kind of liked it, although I don't know if I've ever. Scott Adams was talking. He's the Dilbert guy. He was talking about how he goes to, I think it was Costco. No, it was CVS or something. It was some drugstore, and they give him a 6-foot-long receipt. And I don't think he turns it over to realize it was all these coupons, but he says he doesn't care. Okay, so let's go back and think about ROI and AI. And we have a really excellent article today. And, well, before we do that, I just wanted to, this highlight I thought was great. Fake app installs collectively cost companies billions, okay? And it's just talking about how, not only are the bots going after the clicks now and giving websites false rankings, false visits, but now they're downloading apps. Why not? Download your app and the website gets rewarded for that app, and it says that digital developers pay app stores such as Google Play each time someone downloads their app, right? And it will cost advertisers $42 billion this year, and fraud will reach $100 billion by 2023. You've seen those videos of the phone banks that are fraudulent. So just we'll let you think about that. Let you stay up late last night and we generally pay on the purchase event or rather than the install. Right. See how, and that's a note for digital players in general, is that just because you get hundreds of thousands or millions of app downloads and you pat yourself on the back doesn't mean you are getting users, even engagement, playing your game or visiting your virtual world or whatever you're doing, unless they stick and spend money. So you really need to analyze the money spenders, not the downloaders. And you need to pay on that basis not on the basis just of lots of installs. Okay, and that's one of the problems with digital. So now I wanted to connect this up with Watson, because Watson is kind of analyzing all this B2B stuff, and I thought this was pretty good. There's a book called The Challenger Sale, and it is a widely read book, and there's a lot of thought-provoking research. And one of the pieces says that in a typical B2B buying process, 57%, the process is 57. I love these percentages. 57%. How do you know when a buying process is 57% complete? I just bought a green screen for a video I'm shooting. How do we know when that was 57% complete? I go on eBay, I look at a couple of them, and I buy one. Watch out for spurious statistics, okay? But it's 57% complete before the average customer is ready to talk to a salesperson. Now, on average, that's close to half. So that could mean that half the people talk to a salesperson first, and half the people never talk to a salesperson, like I did with my green screen. What does that mean? I don't know. But I should say, and this is Bob. I had this all fixed up, and I don't know what happened. I got a new version of it, and I always have to type the author in because Customer Think doesn't know how to build their website. Anyway, Bob points out that, and I'm sorry, Bob, it's really Customer Think's fault. This is the only site that does it to me. Purchase experience is 53% of the reason people stick, the drivers of customer loyalty. I like this the best. Product delivery and service, that's independent of the product itself. Company and brand and value to price ratio, these are tied, and this one is a distant third, which is interesting. That price was fourth out of the whole bit. Now, since then, we've changed to purchase experience, gone down a little, and these guys have branded companies gone up, prices still last. This gun has gone down a little because everybody's doing good delivery, I guess. That would be my take on it. But purchase experience is still top. So the takeaway is, when is your purchase experience 57% complete? Now, this is the article I really wanted to get to. And this is and they chopped this off too on LinkedIn. I apologize. We got so many great articles, and I don't have proper attribution, because when I PDF it, it gets taken away. But write me, and I'll find it for you. I commented on the actual article, and it's up here in. See, after a year, it's still a challenge, right? Still a challenge, and a big challenge, right? Let's see. I've got him here. This is him, Edward Chenard, okay, from Minneapolis. He's a data scientist guy. He's a guy who actually knows something, and he's got an article about why data science keeps failing. We're going to go over today because it's my 1-year anniversary, so stick with me. This is the best article so far. VentureBeat posted just now that 87% of data science projects fail to create any impact on the business they support. That's even worse than those articles based on the Gartner report of 85%. Not much, not significantly worse, but Ed says this is the same trend he's seen in the past 3 years. And here's some of the issues. He said, a lot of data scientists, like the barbecue people, they do enjoy just sitting at the computer, plugging away, and not dealing with people. My wife says that about me. Does that mean I'm a data scientist? Not necessarily. But it does mean I like plugging away at the computer, and here I am in a dark room talking to nobody. Okay, and everybody is rebranding themselves as a data scientist. Ed feels that scientists should focus on the algorithms. See, I don't believe that's exactly right. I think that the great scientists focus on the hypotheses, and they focus on the observation. And that's in my book, Spinning Straw into Gold, An Executive Guide to Turning Data into Money. And I would suggest that book if that's your game, right? If your game is that you want to turn data into money, you want to make money with your data, I think you want to find somebody who understands the game, who's done it more than once. And I would say that the great scientists, and I have an MA, master's in philosophy of science, and took a lot of history of science. I have an undergrad in history. So, I think I have enough. I have as much to say about science as anybody. I think I know more about the actual epistemology of science than most scientists do. And most do focus on the algorithms, and that's probably their biggest mistake. And that's why we get the crazy data situations that we have in so many areas of science today that have nothing to do with being science. Okay, so the other problem is the other side. One side is the talent, the other side is the client. They say they want predictive analytics, and what they really want is prescriptive analytics. And I don't really know the difference. I would have liked to seen that. But what we really want is, see, there's two lies in my book. One is we know all about you, and the second is we know what you'll do. So we want to figure out what you'll do, at least at a level of, should we waste more money contacting you or not? That's kind of the game. And whether it's predictive or prescriptive, I'll leave that to the greater minds. But also, many data scientists claim to be business experts. That's one I really have not seen much of. I've seen some really unexpert at business data scientists. Very few of the PhD analysts I've worked with have had any sense of all of business, or even more precisely what it takes to sell some item at some price. And the problem is, if you're going to make money with data, you have to make an offer. You have to try to sell something, and you have to see what algorithm, what combination of variables sells something better. You can't get away from it. If you want to make money with data, you got to sell something. You don't have to be a business expert, but you have to make an offer. It's all about connecting offers and audience, and that's what it is. So I'm agreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing. But he says things are kind of going static. Data science is often thrown in with software development. Big mistake. It's not about the tools. As John Wirth, who has a PhD in direct marketing and aeronautical engineering, one of the smartest guys I've ever worked with, said, if there's lumps in the soup, anybody can find them. Any idiot can find your best customers. Any idiot can find your dead ones. It's those almost dead ones, as Princess Bride would say, just mostly dead, that is the art and the magic. And I would say there's more art and magic in it than there is science in the first place. So join me this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the same channel, on the Periscope, and I'll have links up on YouTube and on LinkedIn and on Twitter, at JR Miggs on Twitter. So join me over there and write me now on LinkedIn. Message me if you can't find it. Ed's worked on several teams where we had 80% success rate, and I'd say that's really good. I've beaten more algorithms than 80% success rate, but it's not 100%. And which would you rather have, 80% failure or 80% success? We did things different. We did things differently. I think it should be differently. But I'm not a linguist. I'm not a grammarian either. Anyway, we did things differently, and we do things differently. So join me for AI ROI, 90 days guaranteed. We'll give you an on-ramp to AI. We'll get you started. We'll beat your RFM or even your model. We'll explain why. I look forward. It's going to be even longer. This is ridiculous. I apologize for being so long, but sometimes I just got to say what I got to say. Thanks, Ed. Really appreciated your article, and I would love to work with you closer. Have a great day. Bye-bye.